Hi, this is Ned. I'm sitting here at my drums. I woke up at 2 in the morning and decided to do a bunch of homework instead of try to get back to sleep. And it was fun. And then part of my homework was make a behind the scenes video. So I'm making a video about a radical change. It's pretty stupid that I'm doing, but it might be smart in the long run, or it doesn't matter. It's fun because I'm 62 years old and I've been setting my bass drum pedals to the same setting for my entire life. Pretty close to this setting where the resting position for the pedals is back like that. And they swing, from the head backwards. Oops, I can't hold the pedal still really, but you can see how they home back into their resting position. So to get them up to the drum, you go from a loose tension on the pedal to tight tension. So here's the springs, right? Now watch the springs as I move the beater closer to the drum. See it stretching on this one right here? Right here? Watch this. Okay, that's where it hit the drum. You can see air inside the spring now. See through it, right? And then it goes back to its resting place, but it really will go beyond that. So it'll go back to a point where it gets some air in there again and keep swinging back and forth and help you get away from the drum and help you race back to the drum. And this is considered the power position because the resting position is so far back that the spring will help the beater come way back towards your foot. You can even hit yourself in the foot from this position. And I used to put them even farther back. And so I mellowed out on that about 10 years ago. And I thought it was a radical change, and I had to kind of deal with my playing being kind of crappy until I got used to that. And so now let's look down here at my foot. You can see how much swing I can get out of that pedal, but I use a loose spring, so I can get up here and play softly too, close to the head. And I can do fast double bass drumming close to the head. I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but a drummer, if they lift their stick up high, it's like taking a flight from Seattle to Sydney, Australia. It's a long trip, and it takes a long time. But if you can get the self-control to keep your sticks or your bass drum beaters closer to the head, then it's like, another exaggerated metaphor would be just walking from your drum set to the bathroom and back. It happens fast. It's a fast trip. So you can play a lot faster the closer you get to the drum head. And so the double bass drummers who are, love playing fast and play music that requires them to play fast, they play with their beaters about this close in the resting position. Now, I'm doing that. I'm switching over to try and be using a setting more like them so I can see if it's easier for playing faster. And I'd like to play faster to use the bass drum in my solos, my drum solos, so I can, switch back from doing something on the snare drum, say. I added a tom-tom. On the bass drum, and you can see I can't do that. I could do that back in 2017 where I practiced double bass drum, collectively 2 hours a day for 5 days a week for 9 months. Then playing something like that back was really easy, and I sure took it for granted by then. So with the beaters up closer, the way they play, and I tried to put them up here, but they won't go up there because, as far as I can tell, there's only one way to set the beaters closer with this pedal, and I've got them all the way forward with using that setting. So maybe there's another way, and if somebody wants to write in and let me know about DW9000s being able to get closer, great. But they're really more of a versatile all-around pedal. So it's a compromise, I think, to try and get it up here to play fast and have those short trips. So when I first, it's a funny story. When I first set them up this way, I had the springs very loose. Now I have them as tight as they'll go. And this is new and interesting for me to be playing this way. But the reason I got them tighter is because I went to a rehearsal with my a big jazz band. It's not my band, but it's a band I play with. I went to play with those guys after practicing for a week with the beaters close to the drum, but I played with them with a wide dynamic range bass drum pedal. So as I was playing, my shin started to burn and my calf started to burn, and I lost control of my foot to some degree. And so I came back, and after a while realized I probably had them too loose and on the springs, spring tension. So I tightened them up about halfway. Hi. I'm just making a video. I'll pause. Hang on. What? So I came home and made more tension on the pedals about halfway. I'm teaching 3 double bass drum students right now who keep their beaters close to their head. And so I also want to relate to them, understand what they're going through, and get some mastery at this. It's a crazy thing to do after 53 years of playing the bass drum one way and getting really good at it, to do this and put that effortlessness at risk. But, you know, I'm also like a boomerlennial, and I want to try new things and, you know, find mysteries, solve mysteries, like the Scooby-Doo kids. So I think that's it on that, you know. Let's see. I in previous takes I didn't clarify that I used a different pedal when I played with the big band, and that's why it burned. But you know, there is something else that's really profound. You know, I was telling you how powerful the hits are with the resting position of the pedal being farther back. Well, if I try to play loud like this, it's like I'm stomping on Formica. I can't get any louder than that, where I can get about 3 or 4 times louder than that with the power position. And so I hate that about this, but I like how close the resting position is, so the beaters are homing much closer to the bass drum. And so even now, I kind of think, even with the springs as tight as they'll go, this doesn't feel any tighter, any looser than when I had the homing position way farther back. So, and the springs loose. All right, that's it for me. Later, Gators.